An external affairs minister rarely becomes popular in India. Make no mistakes, it is a top portfolio but too formal for ordinary citizens to relate to. Late Sushma Swaraj brought her persona to the office, and this is what explains her popularity as the external affairs minister. Dr S Jaishankar is different. He has become popular for his dexterity and is now a darling of the masses. Hi and welcome to TFI English, the national socio-political analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I'm your host Apurva, and in this video I will tell you how Dr S Jaishankar is becoming a star on social media. So let's begin. The 2+2 foreign and defense ministers meeting between India and the US is going to go down as a historic event, and there is just one reason why. Dr S Jaishankar's witty responses that have exposed the hypocrisy of the US political elite. Meanwhile, Dr S Jaishankar has become a darling of the masses, and you need to go no further than some reactions on Twitter to confirm this. Twitter is overflowing with positive remarks and some great memes about India's Minister of External Affairs. If you turn on Twitter, you will find many posts and memes celebrating Dr. S. Jaishankar's fine diplomatic skills. The most popular amongst them, of course, relates to the reply given by the External Affairs Minister to the US Secretary of State Antony Blinken's remarks about monitoring human rights abuses in India. It is just as if people were waiting for one such top diplomat. Make no mistakes, India's diplomatic establishment has always been prompt and sharp. However, it has also been low profile and somewhat subdued. This is the first time that the country has an external affairs minister who can go to the US and tell the Americans directly on their face that if you have concerns about human rights situation in India, India too has concerns about human rights abuses in your country. In a way, Dr. S. Jaishankar reflects Prime Minister Narendra Modi's ambition of making India a global power and ensuring that New Delhi remains at the core of a fast-changing global scenario. Also, Dr. S. Jaishankar's functioning bears semblance to PM Modi's frank and straightforward diplomacy without losing the subtlety that a career diplomat carries, and this is why Indians are admiring him. Dr. S. Jaishankar is among the best diplomats in the world. So what makes him so special? Well, there are two reasons. Number one, he says what needs to be said. And number two, he says that without beating around the bush or unnecessarily convoluting his statements. Take these three major statements in the US for example. Firstly, the energy purchases issue. Dr. S. Jaishankar could have given one long statement which would have hit the nail on the head, but he simply pointed out that India's purchases in a month would be less than what Europe buys in an afternoon from Russia. Similarly, he could have given one long explanation after Blinken brought up the issue of human rights violations in India, but he was precise and came straight forward to the point. We too have our view on the human rights situation in the United States. Similarly, on the CATSA question, he didn't seem to be defending awkwardly. He had a simple statement to make. It is their legislation and whatever has to be done by them. A career diplomat, he has mastered the art of conveying his message without sounding needlessly offensive or circumlocutory. Yet he is an effective communicator and has the ability to expose hypocrisy. This is what makes Dr. S. Jaishankar one of the most adored external affairs ministers to date.